Hello everyone. Before we start today's video, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. We hit 400 subscribers and we are continuing to grow. I cannot thank all of you enough. When I rebranded the channel from cause shows to Joshi content, it was probably the best decision I've ever made in my life. So far, I met so many incredible people and we were able to do so many incredible things like the things we did for the Trevor Project because of this channel. I may make the content, but all of you are integral to the growth of my channel and I am eternally grateful for all of you. SlapViperLLC wouldn't be a thing without the people that helped me along the way. My friends who gave me ideas, Haley who introduced me to Joshi Wrestling, and all the people who continue to support me. I sit near 450 subscribers and never have I ever had a channel that reached this level of success. August 22nd, 2024 will officially be my 10th year on YouTube. We had a lot of ups and downs throughout the years, but this channel and this content I'm creating is the most fun I've ever had, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I love all of you, and thank you for watching. Now let's go on to my 400 subscriber special.
SlapViper.
I know normally people do top 10 lists, but real quick, I'm going to break that mold here for a second. This right here, for celebrating 400 subscribers, I want to thank you guys so much. And with that, I present to you my top 25 favorite women's wrestlers of all time. This isn't necessarily a list of the best women's wrestlers of all time, but this is a list of women who have contributed to my love and my passion for pro wrestling. Number 25, Billie Starkz. The youngest inclusion on this list, and what a performer she is. Billie Starkz started her career at only 13 years old in her home state of Indiana, where I'm from, and has continued to grow as a wrestler. She clawed her way through the independent circuit in a sink-or-swim environment and not only broke through, winning many championships along the way, but was able to rally a supportive fan base. Now she's a mainstay in Ring of Honor in an incredible storyline with Athena, delivering amazing performances along the way, allowing her to become the inaugural ROH Women's World TV Champion. At only 19 years of age, Space Jesus herself has impressed me and fans all across the world with her dedication and willingness to improve. Number 24, Chaparita Asari. You know how Suzu Suzuki and Will Ospreay, they do the Sky Twister press? Yeah, you can thank Asari for that. One of the most physically gifted wrestlers you will ever see in your entire life. Started her career in November of 1992 under the name Masami Watanabe, and at only 19 years old, Chaparita was able to give fans some of the most intense yet awe-inspiring moves they've ever seen, earning her the nickname Top of the Super Light. She achieved championship success, including winning the WWWA Super Lightweight Championship a record 4 times and becoming the inaugural Sky High of Arson champion. Asari wrestled in AJW, Arson, JWP, CMLL, WWF, Neo, and even wrestled in an extremely rare women's match in New Japan Pro Wrestling in 2002. In 2003, she retired from pro wrestling, but still seems to have connections within the business. Asari doesn't get the level of recognition like many other Joshis during that time period due to the roster being so stacked during that time, and also the lack of footage easily available unless you dig deep. Regardless of that, Chaparita is an incredible wrestler and deserves recognition and deserves a place on this list. Number 23, Maki Ito. Some wrestlers you fall in love with because of a particular match or a particular moment. Seeing Maki Ito screaming at Thunder Rosa back in 2020 was my first exposure to the cutest in the world, and I've been in love with her ever since. Maki Ito has captured the hearts of fans with her cute yet entertaining nature, her comedic timing, and her willingness to improve, and her desire to become a megastar in pro wrestling. Maki Ito and her big head have led her to success with multiple championship and tournament wins. She mainly competed in TJPW, but has expanded her palette and wrestles in the independent circuit in various countries, and usually competes in GCW, where it's always a treat to see her. Maki Ito is sure to get a big reaction with her vibrant personality and her incredible moves, leading to growing a loyal and dedicated fan base. Ito-chan takes her place on the list. Number 22, Chihiro Hashimoto. Big Hash is quite possibly the most unique wrestler you will ever see in your entire life. Built like a tank with the speed of a cheetah and the strength of an ox, Hash has speared and suplexed her way through the wrestling world at a scary level. Hash wanted to start her career way earlier, only 15 years of age, but was told by Jinsei Shinkai she was too young and to take up a sport like judo or amateur wrestling until she at least finished high school. I wish more promoters were like Jinsei. Nonetheless, Hash did just that and went on to amateur wrestling and won many accolades and almost went into the Olympics in 2016, but fell short in qualifying. After graduating from university, Hash tried again for Sendai, and her run has been very successful to say the least, winning their top belt a record 5 times with the most days held, beating legends like Aja Kong, Shuri, Hamada, Meiko Satomura. Along the way, she's a 4-time tag team champion in Sendai, along with Mika Iwata, and 3 times with you. Outside of that, she is a KOD 6-man tag team champion and an Oz Academy tag team champion. Sendai isn't the only promotion she has competed with, but also competed in Glee, DDT, Stardom, and other promotions as well, wreaking havoc to all of those who oppose her. Number 21, Arisa Hoshiki. When looking at Arisa Hoshiki, you have to look at the numbers. 151 is the total amount of matches Arisa Hoshiki had from her debut back in 2011 to her last ever pro wrestling match in February of 2020. To think she had that little set of matches, but still considered by many one of the best strikers and the most loved figures, is saying something. The Shining Stars' iconic run with the Wonder of Stardom Championship was her only championship in pro wrestling. But damn did she make it work. Her match with Tam Nakano, Utami, Jungle Kiona, and more have established that as one of the greatest championships runs in Joshi Wrestling. Her tag teams with Tam and Mayu also helped pave the way for their legendary runs as well, and quite possibly help make what Tam and Mayu are today. Arisa Hoshiki sadly has to retire at only 24 years old due to her neck and head injuries from her career as a kickboxer, and cut off contact from the online community due to harassment from people because of her retirement. Despite all of this, Arisa Hoshiki has touched fans around the world with her infectious smile and her brutal moveset. Even in retirement, the shining star stays the brightest. Number 20, Bull Nakano. If looks could kill, Bull Nakano would reach Unabomber numbers. One of the best looks in pro wrestling, combined with one of the most badass movesets of any wrestler. Bull Nakano bursted onto the scene in AJW at only 16 years of age under her real name Kiko Nakano, and in 1985 transformed to Bull Nakano. Bull Nakano won multiple singles and tag championships, but her biggest success came when she won the WWWA World Championship in 1990 and reigned for over 1,000 days. Bull Nakano also competed in CMLL and WWF, winning both of their women's championships along the way. Bull Nakano retired in 1997 due to injuries and the age limit set by AJW, but had her official retirement match later in 2012. Bull is now the on-screen booker and commissioner of Sukeban. Bull Nakano also has one of the wildest transformations in pro wrestling, being at over 220 pounds at her peak, losing all that weight, and then gaining it all back for her retirement show, and then losing it all again. Bull Nakano helped usher in a new era after Crush Gals retired and left AJW. Bull Nakano was a lot of American fans' first exposure to Joshi Wrestling as well, and paved the way for the women after her. Number 19, Meiko Satomura. One of the longest tenured and intense wrestlers and bookers. Meiko is no one to mess with and is one of the rare cases of a wrestler having great to moderate success everywhere they have gone. Starting in Gia at only 16 years of age, Meiko would go on to win their world and tag championships on 2 different occasions for each belt. During this time also, she appeared in WCW for 2 different women's championships in their tournaments. After the closure of Gia in 2005, Meiko was left without a promotion but took up sporadic dates in other promotions until Jinsei Shinzaki and her started Sendai Girls in 2006. She continued to take bookings in other places, also wrestling in Sendai and helping book for Sendai, and won multiple titles, with many of them being world titles in the process. In 2018, she began to wrestle in the WWE in the Mae Young Classic, and then in 2021 became a big part of the NXT UK brand, where she held onto their women's championship for over a year. Meiko is not only loved but respected by people due to her longevity and booking prowess. The final boss takes her stage. Number 18, Athena. Before I even start, Jesus, her ROH Women's World Championship reign has been incredible. Athena started out in 2007 in Texas-based promotions and was met with championship success in the promotion ACW. In 2015, she signed with WWE, and after using the name Adriana Reese, she adopted the name Ember Moon, where she became an NXT Women's Champion and an NXT Women's Tag Team Champion. The latter happened after a very uneventful main roster run, sadly. Athena was released in November of 2021, and after her no-compete clause was up, started taking bookings on the indies before being picked up by AEW, making her official debut in May of 2022. November that same year, she turned heel, and that helped spark one of the coolest eras for the War Gods. And in December of 2022, Athena captured the ROH Women's World Championship and has been reigning ever since. Her violent yet cocky nature makes her stand out, and the brutality she displays is nothing short of greatness, and the War Goddess takes her stage. Number 17, Sarray. I just rewatched her match with Mayu a while before writing this, and the hype is all true and then some about Sarray. Started wrestling at only 15 years of age, Sarray wrestled for Diana to start out, but has wrestled in many companies like Sendai, Seedling, and even Pure J, where she became a double champion at one point and won the tag championships and 3 world titles after, with 2 being in her main promotion, Diana. In 2021, Sarray signed to WWE and became Sarray, and had a run there that, in better terms, left a lot to be desired. In 2023, Sarray left WWE and returned to Japan, where she showed the world who exactly she is by reigniting her feud with Chihiro Hashimoto, had an incredible match at a show Sarray produced, and started to make this a tradition. Sarray, while sporadically doing these Sarrayism shows, has gone on to every promotion you can think of over in Japan and one over in America that you can think of, challenging people, giving some people some of their best work in a long time, and capturing gold along the way. Sarray is a very special wrestler, and the Sun Warrior is ready to battle. Number 16, Shoko Nakajima. One of the most fun wrestlers to watch, either as that incredible babyface she can play, or as that comedic character telling the story on how Marika Kobashi doesn't study, or being a menace with Hyper Masao. Shoko Nakajima was one of the first signings to TJPW back in 2013, and went on to become one of the best in the promotion, with being the inaugural tag team champion, a Princess Cup win, and 2 Prince of Princess championships to her name. Shoko Nakajima has been one of the names that has really gotten TJPW out of that bubble of boring wrestling, as the haters will say. She is able to flawlessly do any role well, and has been incredibly entertaining for such a long time, and at every instant. Her tag team with Hyper Masao, some of the funniest bits in wrestling, and the Big Kaiju deserves all the praise. Number 15, Shayna Baszler. Brutality is the game, and the Submission Magician has 3 options for you. You're either gonna tap, you're either gonna snap, or you're either gonna nap. You have to pick one. Before wrestling, Shayna Baszler took up MMA for nearly a decade and even went as far to go to the Ultimate Fighter and eventually the UFC before being cut and started wrestling in 2015. She had a moderate success in the independent and Japan circuits and even got to face Toni Storm and Io Shirai for the SWA Undisputed and World Stardom Championships respectively, but her biggest success was right around the corner. Shayna Baszler went into the Mae Young Classic for the WWE in 2017 and made it to the finals before losing to Kairi Sane. That loss did not faze Baszler, however, who only 7 months later picked up her first NXT Women's Championship from Ember Moon, and then later losing it to Kairi Sane, but then was able to win it back. Shayna Baszler then went on a over 400-day reign, defeating the likes of Io Shirai, Kairi Sane, Bianca Belair, and Candice LeRae along the way before losing the belt to Rhea Ripley. Shayna Baszler was called up, and her main roster run has consisted of 3 tag championships reign and a all-over-the-place booking style. Despite that, Shayna Baszler remains one of my favorites due to her understanding of wrestling psychology, her wrestling ability, and her genuineness as a person. Number 14, Io Shirai. One of the most accomplished wrestlers ever. No matter where this woman went, she lit the world on fire. Shirai started in 2008 and her only championship so far was a tag championship with her sister, Mio Shirai, and then all that changed when she went to Stardom in 2011 and became possibly the greatest wrestler in Stardom history, winning the World and Wonder belts twice, the Goddess Tag, SWA, High Speed, Artist belts a record 6 times, 5-star Grand Prix winner 2014, Goddess Tag League winner with Thunder Rock teammate Mayu Iwatani, won 12 awards across year-end and 5-star, and she's the creator of Queen's Quest as well, and she's the first ever Grand Slam champion. She's done it all. She has done it all. Io left Stardom in 2018 and went to the WWE. Shirai made it to the finals of the Mae Young Classic in 2018 and lost to Toni Storm and was a main part in NXT. In 2020, Io Shirai tasted her first bit of gold in WWE when she won the NXT Women's Championship and reigned for over 300 days. She won the NXT Women's Tag Titles with Zoe Starks, and in 2022, Shirai fell with injury. Despite that, Io returned from injury with Bayley and Dakota Kai under the name Io Sky at SummerSlam to form Damage Control. Io, since then, has become a 2-time tag team champion, a Money in the Bank holder, and successfully cashed in to become WWE Women's Champion, where she reigned for over 200 days. It's pretty clear why Io Shirai deserves a place on this list. Her accolades, her jaw-dropping moveset, get the Genius of the Sky on my list. Also, I met her. It was really cool. And also, she liked my phone case. It's a Queen's Quest phone case, so that's pretty cool. Number 13, Momo Watanabe. From one Queen's Quest leader... Number 13, Momo Watanabe. From one Queen's Quest leader to another, the true heart of Stardom has impressed fans at a very young age. Starting wrestling in November of 2014, only 14 years old, Momo had a team with John Kiona named J.K. Green in 2016, but shortly after the 2016 Goddess Tag League, Momo Watanabe turned on John Kiona and joined Queen's Quest, where her, Io, and Hazuki won the Artists of Stardom Tag Team titles in 2017. Momo Watanabe then went on to win the Cinderella Tournament and challenge Io Shirai for the second time for the Wonder Stardom Championship and was successful in 2018. And if you want to learn more about that reign, you can check out my other video about it as well. Momo Watanabe, after losing the Wonder of Stardom Championship, continued to lead Queen's Quest, winning another Artists of Stardom tag title in 2019. In 2021, Momo Watanabe turned on Queen's Quest and joined the villainous Oedo Tai. And seeing how sinister and devastating how much of a, excuse my language, asshole Momo Watanabe can be. Even in Queen's Quest, she was a pretty big asshole, like, on the mic and everything. It was really great to see. Seeing how, like, sinister and devastating she can really be makes me want to put the true heart on this list. Number 12, Emi Sakura. I already made a video on Emi Sakura, but let me run down through the big points of why she deserves to be here. Emi Sakura has been wrestling for nearly 3 decades, has won over 30 championships, is able to train and mentor a new generation of talent, constantly able to reinvent her character, and has helped start and create 2 promotions people love with Ice Ribbon and Choco Pro. Your Highness deserves her throne on this list. Number 11, Utami Hayashishida. To already be considered an all-time great before your 25th birthday even hit is incredible. In her first 5 months as a professional wrestler, she won the Goddess Tag League with Momo Watanabe, Rookie of Stardom Tournament, EVE International, SWA, Goddess Tag Team, and Future Stardom Championships, leading to one of the most iconic pictures in pro wrestling history. In 2020, she won the 5-star Grand Prix and later that year challenged Mayu Iwatani for the World Stardom Championship and won the championship at only 22 years old. The Red Queen donned the belt for over 400 days, one of the longest reigns of that championship, laying waste to everyone in her path to the top. A big part of Utami's journey relates back to Saya Kamatani and their team Aphrodite and her faction she led after Momo Watanabe's turn, Queen's Quest. And honestly, that team and that faction is essential to the growth of not only Mayu, but of Saya Kamatani as well. Utami's presence and her elegant yet brash way of speaking makes her a must-watch. A power and style unique enough to be exciting yet simple enough to understand. The Red Queen takes her place. Number 10, Hana Kimura. If I had one word to describe Hana Kimura, it would be special. One of the coolest and talented wrestlers you will ever watch, and to think she only wrestled for a little over 4 years. Hana Kimura mainly wrestled for W1, Oz Academy, BJW, and JWP, where she won championships in the latter before heading over to Stardom in 2016, where she was in Oedo Tai, where she won the Arts of Stardom tag team belts with the faction, their own mother even being in the faction. But Hana Kimura also competed in other promotions during this time before fully signing to Stardom in 2019 and starting Tokyo Cyber Squad. In Tokyo Cyber Squad, she captured the Arts of Stardom and Goddess of Stardom tag team belts. Hana Kimura also won the 2019 5-star Grand Prix during this time. In November of that year, Hana Kimura met someone who would help spark my love for pro wrestling. In Julia's first ever press conference for Stardom in November, her and Hana Kimura got into a huge brawl, and it continued with those two at each other's throats until their inevitable match at the year-end climax on Christmas Eve the following month. The first ever Joshi match I've ever seen, and is still my favorite match to this day. Those two would continue to feud after that match in the Cinderella tournament in 2020. Mayu Iwatani and Hana Kimura fought in Hana Kimura's last ever pro wrestling match before, sadly, in May of 2020, taking her own life due to harassment from people online from a verbal conflict with one of the castmates in the show, Terrence House, where she was someone that was on the show. Her career might not have been long, but Hana Kimura touched the lives of so many people with her vibrant personality, but also how damn cool she looked with an amazing moveset. People, wrestlers, everyone talked about how friendly and how nice of a person Hana Kimura was. And even though she might be gone, we can still honor her. We still have the tribute shows and everything. Hana Kimura may be gone from this earthly realm. Her legacy lives on through all of us. Rest in peace, Hana Kimura. Number 9, Joe Kiona. Seeing Joe Kiona live was a spectacle in every sense of the word. Joe Kiona's wrestling journey began in 2015 with a victory over Momo Watanabe, leading to a partnership dubbed JK Green until Watanabe's betrayal in 2016 to join Queen's Quest. Despite several championship pursuits, Kiona's first title win came in her hometown Nagoya in 2017 with Hiroya Matsumoto winning the Goddess Tag Belts. This victory birthed Team Jungle that had Natsuko Tora, and Kaori Oniyama in it, which it then evolved into the Jungle Assault Nation in 2018. However, a loss in a Battle Royale led to Jungle Assault Nation to disband and Kiona into Tokyo Cyber Squad, which disbanded following the death of Hana Kimura, a crucial defeat and the betrayal of Konami. After a hiatus for surgery, Kiona returned briefly before setbacks due to medical complications, ultimately having to take more time off. Despite her wrestling accolades not being up to the level of some of the other people on this list, Kiona's enduring legacy lies in her undeniable strength, charisma, and her unwavering passion for the sport. As a recording, her surgery went well, and she is working in a fire brigade, which actually means a lot to me because I've had a lot of people in my family that were firefighters, so it actually kind of it hit me right in my heart a bit. And Jungle Kiona, the Jungle Princess, takes her spot. Number 8, Mayu Iwatani. The word to describe Mayu Iwatani is iconic, winning 15 total championships, including being the first ever woman to hold both the Wonder and World Stardom championships at the same exact time, being a Grand Slam champion, having some of the greatest matches in Stardom history, leader of the Stars faction, back-to-back Cinderella tournament wins, winner of the 2018 5-Star Grand Prix, her partnership with Io Shirai and Kairi Hojo, and being at the inaugural Stardom show. Mayu Iwatani was a shut-in for her early teen years, but after quitting high school, became fascinated with pro wrestling and contacted Fuka to move to Tokyo in 2010 to begin her career as a pro wrestler, where her first match was against Harisa Hoshiki. Mayu Iwatani's time wasn't just spent in Stardom, however, but in other companies as well in a smaller capacity. Her biggest run outside of Stardom was in ROH, where she became the Woman of Honor champion. Mayu Iwatani is a legend in every sense of the word, and the icon deserves her place on the list. Number 7, Shuri. Have you ever met someone so terrifying yet hilarious at the same time? Yeah, that's Shuri for me. Beyond her wrestling career, Shuri trained in karate, track and field, and tennis throughout her high school years, and has been involved with kickboxing, afterwards with a 13-1 record, and MMA, where she was in Pancrase and UFC before being let go in 2020, having a 6-3 record overall. Her wrestling career began in 2008, debuting for Hustle under the name KG, meaning Karate Girl, but competed for other places such as Smash, Diana, Ice Ribbon, Wave, WNC, and Rena, during her starting years winning dozens of championships. In the process, she met Kana, now known as Asuka, in WWE, and Hikaru Shida, with both relationships helping the former Karate Girl out in the long run. In 2013, she had her first match in Stardom and sporadically wrestled for the promotion before finally signing in 2020 to join Donna Del Mondo as one of the core members. In DDM, she won the Artist, Goddess, SWA, and World Championships, actually holding a lot of the belts at the same time, and also won the 2021 5-Star Grand Prix. She split from Donna Del Mondo after a defense against Donna Del Mondo's leader Julia to form God's Eye. While Shuri is a menacing force, she has shown how lighthearted and funny she can be, like in her tag team with Julia in AOK, or anytime she's facing against Saki Kashima or doing any antics with her. The Karate Girl takes her spot. Number 6, Bayley. Bayley was my first favorite female wrestler ever, and there are many great reasons for that. She started her career in 2008 under the name Davina Rose in BTW, where she didn't gain too much success championship-wise before signing with WWE in 2012, where she went to NXT as this doe-eyed fangirl we all know and love. We watched her character progress from this obsessed and nervous hugger to this babyface we can all root for, leading to Bayley beating Sasha Banks and capturing the NXT Women's Championship at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. And then at TakeOver Respect, had one of the greatest Iron Man matches I've ever seen with Sasha Banks and retained her championship. Bayley would lose her title in 2016 to Asuka and then the rematch marked her end in NXT. Bayley, the month before her NXT farewell, made her main roster debut, teaming with her former rival Sasha Banks in a winning effort. Bayley on the main roster achieved Grand Slam, won the Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank, won the Women's Tag Team Championships, and led Damage Control before being kicked out and beating Io Sky for the WWE Women's Championship at WrestleMania. The role model takes her place. Number 5, Rika Tatsumi. Same thing I said about Shuri, except Rika Tatsumi is somehow scarier. Rika debuted for TJPW in 2014 under the name Ririko Kendo, but in July of 2015 changed her name to Rika Tatsumi. In TJPW, she has participated in some great stories like trying to get Hyper Masao back from the dark side. The entire relationship with Mizuki and her short-lived but very fun tag team with Maho Kuron and Daydream. She became the inaugural Grand Slam champion in 2023, won the Max Hard Tournament in 2022 with Miyu Watanabe, and won the Princess of Decade Award in 2023. Her character of this psychotic yet oblivious monster has captured the hearts of fans and struck fear into all of her opponents, even making a zombie run in fear. She can be insanely funny, yet still somehow have you popping for all of her big moments, and the White Dragon will fly high. And I'm putting her at number 5 on my list. Number 4, Maika and Himeka. Go cry me a river if you want me to split them up, because it is impossible for me to do that. Both women helped me love pro wrestling, and it would be a disservice to not group the former tag partners together. Both women have unique styles and chemistry when facing people, both able to get the best out of their opponents, and how could I separate them? How could I do that? I will say, I feel as if Himeka is the better worker between the two, but I don't feel as if by much. I feel both of them had me crying, had me laughing, had me cheering for them, when most other wrestlers don't have me cheer or have me as emotional as those two. Seeing Maika get her crowning achievement with the World Stardom Championship, and Himeka being there for her friend, and Maika even allowing Himeka to hold the championship that she never got to hold. In tag matches together, they were brutal and scary, allowing them to win the tag titles even if it was just for a brief moment. In singles matches, they were no different due to their size and raw power, even to the bitter end. Maika and Himeka teary-eyed, or at their greatest moments. Maika and Himeka were always together, so why should I separate them here? The Jumbo Princess and her Crimson Empress take their thrones together. Number 3, Aja Kong. Besides Samoa Joe, Aja Kong is maybe the most intimidating wrestler ever. Nearly 40 championships to her name with 11 world titles, nearly 40 years in the business, 5 tournament wins, and possibly the best peak of any pro wrestler. Aja Kong isn't just a legend, but an all-time great. Her matches with Manami Toyota, Bull Nakano, Meiko Satomura, and others are masterpieces that you need to watch. Even her older years, where she isn't the woman she once was, moving much slower, is still able to tell a beautiful story. And one of the coolest things of all, her breaking down barriers by becoming a legend in an environment where being a different race, and especially mixed race in Japan, especially during that time, was really frowned upon. Aja Kong was too good to hold down, and for that, the daughter of King Kong takes her place. Number 2, Miyu Watanabe. I talked about how perfect she is, and honestly, I can go on for days and days about how perfect she is, but I'm going to keep it brief for you guys here tonight. Miyu Watanabe, funny enough, wanted to be an idol more than anything and auditioned for the Up Girls when she was only 17 years old. She made her debut in January of 2018 along with Hinona to team against the also debuting Hikari Noa and Raku, all of them being Up Girls, where Miyu Watanabe was victorious for her team. In TJPW, she has achieved Grand Slam and won the Max Hard Tournament with Rika Tatsumi. Miyu Watanabe is an interesting case because she didn't want to do pro wrestling at first, but she made it work. Her unique build, due to her softball passion and her love for the gym made her an instant standout. Her moveset is fun to watch, and her selling and facial expressions make her someone you must root for. She's the perfect babyface, the perfect professional wrestler in all aspects, and we all must love the Muscle Girl. And number 1, Akira Hokuto and Giulia. There is no possible way you can make me pick between these two. I have rewritten this list so many times, and every time I put these two at number 1, and I could not separate them. And I just love them both for so many different reasons. Hokuto's resilience through every major setback in her career to still have the catalog that she does is insane. Broken neck, her knee tore open, would have many people quit, but Hokuto laughed at that concept, and through everything, she is still possibly the greatest wrestler of all time. Now on to Giulia, a woman who Hokuto herself called the new dangerous queen, got me into pro wrestling because of her vicious yet charming style, her brutality, her craftiness, and her undying passion for pro wrestling. And that sounds a lot like Hokuto, huh? I mean, Giulia also had to deal with similar injuries. She almost retired in 2022. You can argue Hokuto is the better wrestler of the two, but even then, for me, it's a toss-up. Both at their best can give anyone their best match and have a match of the year. Hell, not even match of the year, match of the decade contender that gets the crowd and the fans on the edge of their seats. And to me, personally, Akira Hokuto and Giulia earned their place at my number 1 spot. Real quick, I want to thank you all so much for watching here. As you can see, I have a face cam now and everything. Just wanted to try this out. This might be the style going forward. Let me know what you guys think, though. I don't know if you guys want to see my ugly mug or whatever. But yeah, like I said, I want to thank you guys again for 400 subscribers. I can't believe it, honestly. I was never expecting to get to this level. And God, I just want to thank you guys so much. And also make sure to check out all the links in the description below, as you guys know. And yeah, this has been Quincy of SlapViperLLC, and I will talk to you guys later. Take care.